Good morning. I'm Don Bickle, Director of the Marion County Traffic Safety Partnership, and I would like to welcome you to the Operation Pullover Click It or Ticket Mobilization Press Conference. The reason for the press conference is to make the public aware that buckling up is for their safety and it is the law. Today we have speakers from the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, Indiana State Police, Marion County Traffic Safety Partnership, and Lifeline here today to talk and express their experiences that they've had with the buckle up situation in Indiana and how we are improving our numbers, but we still need to continue improving those. I'd like to have Ryan Klitsch, Director of ICJI, Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, come up and say a few words about the nationwide mobilization. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Don. Good morning. On behalf of the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute and the Governor's Council on Impaired and Dangerous Driving, I'd like to thank the Marion County Traffic Safety Partnership for inviting us here today to kick off Click It or Ticket in Indiana. With federal funding from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Indiana has participated in Click It or Ticket enforcement for well over a decade now. The national campaign begins in Indiana tomorrow, with more police participation than ever before. For the next 17 days, more than 260 Indiana law enforcement agencies will step up seatbelt enforcement patrols targeting Hoosier motorists who failed to buckle up. In 2010, there were 754 fatalities that occurred on Indiana roadways. Shockingly, more than half of those were not wearing a seatbelt. While police will be on the lookout for unbelted motorists around the clock, they will be paying special attention to nighttime drivers. For instance, last year in Indiana, those killed in nighttime traffic crashes were far less likely to have been buckled up. While it is arguably one of the most notable traffic safety slogans in history, to those of us dedicated to saving lives of Hoosiers, Click It or Ticket means much more. Public education, strategically targeted media campaigns, and high visibility enforcement are at the cornerstone of this enforcement effort. The use of proper restraints is the most important traffic safety initiative we can promote. Research has shown that seatbelt use can increase your chances of surviving a crash by 50%. Putting safety first when you're behind the wheel is the key to keeping yourself, your passengers, and other motorists safe on Indiana roadways. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Our next speaker, I'd like to introduce Major Thomas Melville from the Indiana State Police to talk about the statewide enforcement efforts we'll be conducting. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of the Superintendent Weitzel, I'd like to thank the Marion County Traffic Safety Partnership for inviting the Indiana State Police to take a part in this event as well. The Indiana State Police, along with countless other law enforcement agencies across the state, are making a commitment to saving lives by cracking down on drivers and passengers who failed to buckle up during this year's Click It or Ticket enforcement campaign. In support of this year's efforts, Indiana State Police will continue to educate Hoosiers about the importance of seatbelt use and aggressively enforce Indiana's law requiring every motor vehicle occupant to properly be restrained. Day and night, law enforcement will be looking for those who fail to wear their seatbelt or properly restrain their child passengers. According to the most recent data from NHTSA, of the 23,382 passenger vehicle occupants killed in motor vehicle collisions in 2009, more than half were not wearing a seatbelt. As Ryan noted, the statistics are similar here in the Hoosier State. So in an effort to save more lives this year, we are asking Hoosiers to always use safe and courteous driving practices, don't drive distracted, never get behind the wheel impaired, obey posted speed limits, and of course, wear your seatbelt. The Indiana State Police, along with other agencies, have a no tolerance policy. So if we see you not wearing a seatbelt, you will get a ticket. But issuing tickets is not about the money. It's about saving lives. And the best way to avoid a ticket is to drive sensibly and always be buckled up.
Thank you, Major. Marion County Traffic Safety Partnership, which consists of several law enforcement agencies in Marion County, including the Indianapolis Metro Police, Lawrence Police Department, Speedway Police Department, Cumberland Police Department, and Indiana State Police District 52, will work overtime hours during this blitz period from May 20th to June 5th. The funding for this is granted to us through the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, Governor's Council on Impaired and Dangerous Driving. The purpose, again, is to keep drivers safe within the county and save lives. Proper seatbelt and child restraint use can significantly reduce injuries and deaths on our local highways. Last year in Marion County, we had 27,000 crashes, which included over 7,000 injuries and, unfortunately, 73 fatalities. Our local enforcement efforts will focus on local highways along with local interstates in Marion County. Our enforcement is not going to be just during daytime hours. However, it will also occur during nighttime hours. Through our local seatbelt surveys conducted by the partnership, we've identified a usage rate of 92% for passenger vehicles and SUVs. However, our rate is much lower at 74% for pickup trucks. Many drivers of pickup trucks still feel that they are safer because they're riding and driving larger vehicles. However, they are not. Many of these vehicles are involved in crashes that involve rollovers, and we have ejections occur continuously. So we need everybody in all vehicles to buckle up all the time. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, proper restraint use and fatalities could save approximately 75% of all deaths, so it is very important. Nationwide, over half the passenger vehicle occupant deaths occurred in nighttime collisions, which is from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Nearly 2/3 of those individuals were not wearing seat belts. With a larger number of nighttime events in Marion County and other activities, we want everybody to remember to buckle up. And also remember, proper vehicle restraint use is your best defense against an impaired driver. Individuals that see the aftermath of serious injury crashes are here today. You can see the Lifeline helicopter behind us today, and we have crews there. I'd like to introduce Sherry Seacrest from Methodist Hospital Lifeline, who is the base supervisor, to share some of her experiences that they have had at crash scenes. Sherry?
Thank you, Don. In my experience as a critical care transport nurse, and all of my colleagues behind me as well, when an IU Health Lifeline helicopter lands on scene of a motor vehicle crash, it is evident the patients that have been ejected or unrestrained. These patients have either not survived the crash or have far more serious injuries than their restrained counterparts. If they have survived the crash and we are able to take them to an appropriate level 1 trauma center, these patients prove to have longer ICU stays and far serious outcomes. Restraints appropriately applied and child restraints is the most important step before entering a motor vehicle. If you are not restrained, these are some of the things that we see on scene, such as ejections and rollovers or down under the dash, those types of things that need to be extricated. Those patients that have been restrained have far better outcomes. We know this because, unfortunately, we have seen this. A discussion needs to happen with your family, your friends, and even our patients to show that just a quick and easy buckle up can help save your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. I would like to thank the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for allowing us to have this event here today, along with Lifeline, SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions, the other speakers, and the law enforcement officers that are here today for supporting us. I would also like to thank the media for coming out today for this press conference. It's very important that we get the message out to the general public to buckle up. Students Against Destructive Decisions are here today, and they have what they call a seatbelt convincer. And it is located in the gravel lot, and the media is welcome to go over there and take a ride on the seatbelt convincer, which simulates a crash of 5 to 7 miles per hour. And I think you'd be amazed what that type of a crash feels like. So if anybody has any questions of media, I would be more than happy to answer them or have someone else answer those. Thank you very much for coming today.